Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Regina from Regina and Hollis Crime Chat, and here with us today we have Sammy and Hollis and Char and What is True. Hello, ladies. How are y'all doing?
Howdy,
Nope.
how's it going?
It's going good, Sammy. Good to see you. How you doing, Hollis?
Hey, Regina. Hi, Sammy and Shar, and what is true? How you doing?
Doing wonderful. How you doing, Char? Char.
Shar, can you hear us, Shar?
Well, all right. Well, how you doing? What is true?
I am
It's like we're
fantastic. Good to see all of you.
good to see you too. We know you've been kind of busy lately, so we're glad you're here today, girl. You
Well,
too, Sammy. You got a lot going on too, girl.
thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for having us.
Tons of fun here. What can I say?
uh, Speaking of fun, um, Sammy, I believe you got something that you wanted to share with us first, and it's called
Well,
Sammy's Resources.
yeah, typically we're going to have a lot of links to a lot of different things, and hopefully we can provide links for resources for people no matter what you're going through. If you feel unheard, it's sometimes it's easier to ignore your life or make a choice to check out. And my thing is this: I want you to realize you hold the power to check back into life. And sometimes what these resources are going to do is to help you learn how maybe take that first step in the right direction to finding your power and living within your power. And for those of you in society that see other people who are either considered street people, or you just think that they're addicted to drugs, or you're just not paying a whole lot of attention to people that you think are lower, you realize this: some of these people truly are low. They are down on their luck, or they've made this choice because they didn't know what else to do. And maybe these resources can help you learn how to be maybe a better member of society to help your fellow human. So that's what resources here are going to be basically for: helping us all learn. Whether it's one of us needs to learn how to take the first step into living in our power and choosing not to ignore our life or check out anymore. Um, I just want to see people get better in life. And so, what I mean by that is, hey, look, where I work, I check in on people that I work with. I check in on people that are hanging out on the street outside, people that come in our store that are just sitting around. I had a conversation with a woman one time who was probably in her 40s or 50s. She was out of place. She was sitting up front. Something didn't seem right. She looked very well dressed. She was all bundled up. She had a backpack, and I asked her if she was okay. And I told her, I introduced myself, and she introduced herself. But then as the conversation progressed, I realized she was schizophrenic and she was in the middle of an episode having a mental health crisis. But she was very controlled. And I realized there was a problem, and this gal needed some help. And so I tried, I mean, because I got the craziest stuff from her as far as who she thought she was and where she thought she was and what she thought she was doing, and that people were following her. And it scared me for her because I realized this is somebody's mom, sister, grandma. It could be somebody's auntie. I mean, this lady needed help. And so I called the police, not, when I called the police, they were like, "Oh, you want us to come throw her out?" And I was like, "No, dude, look, I want to help her, but I don't know how because she's having a mental health crisis." And they were like, "Oh," and they were like, "We know who you're talking about and we know all about her." And I said, "Well, she's here and she needs help." And I had a very hard time getting her out of the establishment when it was closing time. And I had to do it in the most constructive way I possibly could, which didn't matter what came out of my mouth. She got mad at me. She said she was calling the cops and reporting me. And I said, that's good. That's fine. But if you do it outside. So I got her outside, and eventually the police showed up. But I did tell them, I do not want her given a no trespass warrant. I do not want her thrown out. I want somebody to come that can try and get her some help because I know she's having a crisis at this moment and she needs help. So these are people that when they go ignored, they end up in the gutters. They end up the ones that we're finding on the street not alive anymore. And I'm sorry, but it's up to us, everyone in society. Just reach out once, please, because it's important and it matters. Everyone matters. That's all I'm going to say. But this is what resources are for everyone. For everyone. If you don't think you're that person that needs it, go there anyway. Learn something. Stop being afraid to reach out.
And also, if you see something, say something because sometimes it can turn someone's life around just making people aware. Thank you, Sammy.
Very well said, Sammy.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And we are back. And with that said, everyone, today, we're just going to give you a rundown on the case we're covering. We're covering the homicide of Troy Alexandria Strope. Um, and to start with, we are going to show you the initial video that we did where we covered this case. So here we go. Oh,
Regina, before we start, can we make sure that we can hear Shar?
oh yeah, Char, are you there?
Private, yeah, in private chat, she's literally there and she's speaking, but we can't hear her on our end.
I don't hear her at all.
I know, so we got to figure it out. She can hear us, and she's literally says that she's yelling, so we can't hear her. So I don't know. What do you think is wrong with her mic? How can we help her out?
Does
I,
she
I,
have her
I don't know,
individual?
but I don't.
Does she have her phone on mute somehow? Not like just her
Yeah, maybe
actual
you have
phone
your phone on mute, Shar.
or the volume all the way down or something.
Regina, if you turn to private chat, you might be able to see what she's saying to help her out on her end.
I don't know what to do because her mic's not muted on my end. I'm not. I don't know how to help her at this moment.
Unfortunately, we will have to move on.
Yes, I don't know what to do.
She says her
Maybe
phone
she
is
needs to
not on
shut her
mute.
phone off and restart it.
She says her phone is not on mute and the volume is
Well, then
all the
she
way
needs
up.
to turn off her phone and restart it probably. Okay, that might work. It might restart it.
And
I mean,
can we
'cause
do those?
my
I was
headphones did that the other day, and I had to shut my computer off and restart it. So I
okay.
need
And
to.
I was working with her and I kind of missed Sammy's resources. So when I was working with Shar on the phone, I missed Sammy's resources. I'd love to see those again if you wouldn't mind. I missed all of that beautiful clip you did. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Regina.
I'm just glad that that was totally Sammy's idea. I just elaborated a little bit further with it and helped her by making her a video to put the resources that
And you
she
know
thought
me.
were important
I loved
and might
it and I
have bearing
appreciate
on
it.
this case.
I
So I
appreciate it.
appreciate you, Sammy.
You know me. I'm going to go rewind and I'm going to screenshot each one of those for myself.
Char, oh, I don't know what to do. Hollis, I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm waiting to see if she says something in private chat, if she can hear us or if she's got something going on. She might have her computer muted. I don't know. I don't know what devices she is using.
We don't. Well, I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't want to spend, you know, all of the hour working on that whenever we should have had it done beforehand.
Well, we can move on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I mean, the only thing I knew that could have been done was like it's on her end. I don't know what to do. I don't know what device she's on. I don't know any of that. I don't know what to do to help her.
Okay. We'll
Like
move
it's
on and maybe
it.
she can work on it during the live. She says, please go on. I will listen. I turned off the phone. It won't work. Please go on. Okay,
Okay.
Shar. Hey,
I'm
Shar.
sorry. I don't know what to do because I like literally have no idea what's
It's
wrong.
fine. It's fine. Shar, enjoy the show, honey.
Yep. Enjoy the
We
show.
love you.
We love you,
And if you can
Char.
get it, if you can get it to work when we have lots of questions, please jump on.
Yes.
Okay.
And with that said, I'm gonna present the first video.
Roll that footage.
And this was where I covered it. So and now for a breaking news report out of St. Francis County, Arkansas, where a woman's body was discovered in a gray tote along the side of the road. The woman discovered in a gray plastic tote on County Road 371 just off Highway 334 has been positively identified as 42-year-old Troy Alexandria Strope of Forrest City, Arkansas. Authorities were notified last Tuesday afternoon after some boys riding four-wheelers in the area discovered the tote and called the sheriff's department. At this time, investigators are working this case as a homicide and have few leads to go on, and we are asking for the public's help. If anyone has any information on Miss Strope, they're asked to contact the St. Francis County Investigators Division. All calls will remain confidential. Today, I contacted Sheriff Travis Hill, captain of CID in St. Francis County. And while he declined to give any comments on the condition of the victim whenever she was located, he did inform me that she was not reported missing during the time in which she was discovered. Okay, so y'all remember whenever I covered that. Um, and what actually led me to really being um so interested in this case and trying to help find um justice for Troy was I live very close. Well, I wouldn't say really close. I live an hour and a half's drive from where she was found. And I decided to try to find her on Facebook. And whenever I did, I started realizing that we had 8 mutual friends in common and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, what?
And that's when
So,
you contacted me,
hmm
and you actually sent me the article. It
hmm
was kind of small town news.
yeah,
And I had read it and I was kind of like, well, this is a strange freaking case. And then you
hmm
had mentioned to me that the area was super close to where you lived and you were familiar with sort of the goings on in the town. But and so, you really dug your heels in and did a really beautiful premiere for her to honor her.
yeah,
And we
because
did, yeah, and we did notice one or two kind of stations picking up, but not a whole lot of screaming from the backyard with this one, from the back of the room. So
right,
this is really a lot of Regina's hard work. She has dug super deep into this. She knows people's names. She knew who to check on. She just knew the whole circuit board, so to speak. So um, this case has really hit Regina in a special spot. I just
yeah,
wanted to
because
share that with our audience, just
I'm
to
a 42-year-old
help them
mother
have a
too.
background.
You know it. I'm a 42-year-old mother too to boot. Hollis, I mean, and I've done enough research into it and I've seen enough to understand that she was going through some struggles in life, but she was a beautiful woman. She was a loved mother. I mean, it just breaks my heart to
Her
and
beauty wasn't just on the outside either.
oh no it wasn't. And we're going to get into that here in just a little bit.
She
I
was so
have
pretty, and she had such,
I
she. It looked like she had. It looked like she had everything on the outside, but the inside was tortured. And we came to
yeah,
kind of, and I don't want to blow it for everyone, so we'll just continue. I'll keep my mouth shut. Hey, what is true?
she was a work in progress. She was like any one of us. She had her everyday struggles. Um
Yes.
but she wore her heart on her sleeve.
I've been meaning to tell you what is true. I love your tennis shoes, but I can't see them in your profile picture.
Oh, well, it probably has to be edited then, huh? I'm
Get on
lucky I
that,
got it
girl.
up there.
You know I love your tennis shoes.
Yes, I love my Converse. Those are
I
my
know you
thing.
do. Okay, back
Yeah.
on track. Okay, Char's backstage now again. She might be up and running.
Char, Char. I still don't hear her. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to keep moving. Um, so the next part of this case is I would like to play this news clip from Memphis on this case, if that's okay. And then I'd like to read the article. So I'm gonna have to rewind this. Do y'all have sound, by the way, after it starts playing?
Yes, I do.
I do. I'm not seeing anything or hearing anything at the moment, just so you know.
Is everyone else?
I hear nothing, Regina.
Okay, well I thought what is true said she could see it and hear it. You can't see it or hear it?
Hear or see what, babe? What are we supposed to be looking at? I see
Oh,
the 4 of us up on panel.
uh, I have to close Discord. Maybe if I share the link with you, you'll be able to see it. Yeah.
That might help.
Oopsies.
I had a blonde moment. Sometimes they all attack me all at once, y'all. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Breaking news
Careful.
in the investigation of an Arkansas woman found dead last week in a plastic storage bin. The
I
St.
see that,
Francis
don't
County
you?
Sheriff says there is a person of interest in the case. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. We've also learned that a Forrest City home was searched today for evidence in the death of the 42-year-old woman. WRG's Mike Sirianni has details you'll only see on 3.
The information that we received through our investigation is a possibility she was murdered in that house. Possibility.
St. Francis County Sheriff Bobby May with a major update in the death investigation of 42-year-old Troy Strope. Telling WREG deputies armed with a search warrant swarmed this home on Buford Street in Forrest City Thursday, gathering possible evidence connected to Strope's murder.
We got what we think is ample. It doesn't take but a speck. It doesn't take much, but we think we got ample forensics.
Sheriff May would not comment on what items were taken from the house, but added,
we thinking possibly some blood, in the residence.
Strope's nude, decomposed body was discovered inside a plastic storage tote February 20th by youngsters on four-wheelers riding on St. Francis County Road 731. Sheriff May says 2 brothers live at the Buford Street address. One of them was arrested Thursday on a drug charge unrelated to the search warrant. May says the other occupant of the house was not detained.
At this time, we just don't have enough evidence to make any arrest. We certainly haven't talked to any eyewitnesses.
While I was at the address Thursday, a man who said he lives at the house would not comment on why deputies had been there earlier and told me to leave his property. Sheriff May says he knows how Strope was murdered, but he can't jeopardize the case by releasing those details.
Only the person who actually did it or persons who were there would know how she was murdered. So we don't want to make that public.
In Forrest City, Mike Sirianni, WREG News Channel 3.
Hey, Regina. Is what is true? Did she get back in?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're in twice, and Char's backstage too, Regina. I don't know what's going on with everybody. Everyone seems to have technical difficulties.
Uh, Crystal, are you there? What is true?
Regina,
Hello?
you have to go to private chat if you're going to try to get in any communication with them about what's going on. You got to let live chat
I'm
go and
here.
go to private
I'm
chat.
here.
She's here. She's here.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone that's in here can hear?
Yes.
Okay. Sammy, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. Okay. So we've done that report. And then, is there anything y'all ladies would like to recap on that or anything before we go on to the long crime report one? The Long Crime Network report one.
I think I'm good right now. I'm listening.
I am also.
I'm listening.
So we have this article. Woman found dead in plastic bin abandoned off rural road. Rural road. Local home is searched. Troy Alexandria Strope, and they spelled it wrong, was found dead in a plastic tote off Greene County 731 in St. Francis, Arkansas on February 20th, authorities said. Deputies in St. Francis County, Arkansas are trying to find out who killed a local woman and stuffed her body in an abandoned plastic tote off of the rural road. Boys discovered the container while riding four-wheelers in the area of County Road 731 just off Highway 334 on February 20th, and they called this in. Authorities said investigators on Tuesday identified the victim as Troy Alexandria Strope, 42 of Forrest City, Arkansas. At this time, investigators are working this case as a homicide and have few leads to go public for help, they wrote. Authorities asked that everyone with information on Strope contact the St. Francis County Investigators Division, and they promise that all calls will remain confidential. You can reach the sheriff's office at 870 633 2611. Authorities on Tuesday reportedly searched a Forest City home and found forensic evidence and a possible person of interest, though investigators have not publicly discussed any suspects. She was full of love and laughter, her goddaughter, Alexis Parham, told Memphis CBS affiliate WREG. She didn't care what people thought about her. I don't think a lot of people realize it, but every person she came across in her life, she taught them something. It was not strange for Strope to fall off the radar occasionally, but in this case, Strope was gone for a month. If she didn't want to talk, it would only be for a couple of days and she'd be right back with us, Parham said. So we know it was unusual, but in everyday life, people don't think about things like that until things happen. And that's the end of that news article. Okay, and I want, if it's okay, to just go back, if we can, for just a second. I'd like to pull this one up again. Whoops. Where's the article? Oh, I have no idea where it went. Okay, so let's talk about this case just a little bit more. And I have a new picture that I'd like to share with everyone. Um, with us tonight in our chat, we have family members. Um, or I'm sorry, we have very close friends of Troy Alexandria. And I'm not going to say the person's name out loud. Well, they've already put it in chat, so I guess um, Miss Mary Lindsay knew Troy Alexandra, and she sent me this beautiful photo of her I would like to share.
I've been talking to her in chat, Mary Lindsay.
And
Wasn't she?
Mary Lindsay, I would love for you to get with Regina and connect with her because I think you might have a few more resources to maybe
Yeah,
shed a little more light on who Troy really was as a human being. We need
I
to do that.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I shot her my email and I also shot her my Twitter DM in case you want to get in touch with me. Or if she, I know some of the mods have Regina's Twitter DM. I don't know what kind of social media she uses. I don't want her to blast her stuff online right here in live chat, but definitely if she sent Regina a picture, I'm sure they've exchanged emails.
Um,
This would be great.
I thought that Troy was so beautiful. Like whenever I started looking through Facebook and stuff and finding pictures of her, I
Oh,
was
Linda
just like,
Robertson.
it moves you to really see, like, I guess the footprint they left behind. You know what I'm saying?
And I'd like to say
And
hello to Lena Robertson. She's in our chat too. She's another family member.
oh,
I
Hi,
hello.
recognize
Linda.
I
Hi,
recognize
Linda.
Linda's name.
And I'm gonna show y'all what I mean right now because seriously, Troy was just absolutely strikingly beautiful. Wasn't she beautiful?
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, and I think in some of her writings that I've read, her beauty shines through, even there.
Yeah.
In, ju-
I
in,
agree.
in just her words, she was very, very talented in in what she wrote.
Very talented. Um, Hollis, as a matter of fact, um, would you please do me the honor of reading? You know which one I sent you.
Oh, I'd have to dig it up. I didn't know we were doing that one right now.
Did you want to save that one for last?
No, you know what? I think now would be a beautiful time to read it. And I am going to find it within 2 seconds straight because
Well, everything that we heard that she
I
had put
have it.
out and that
I got
that
it.
that
Okay,
I
I'm
got
gonna
it.
share it with everyone while you read it. Okay.
Wait, Sammy had something to say. Go ahead, Sammy. What were you going to say real
Sorry.
quick, sweetie? It's okay.
it's all right. Go ahead.
Okay. Do
No,
you
go
want me
ahead
to
and
just
say what. Please, Sammy, go ahead. While I'm
No,
setting this up,
I
anyways.
was while Virginia was putting this together, she shared with us the things that were written by Troy, and I found them to be very profound, and I felt like she had a lot to offer the world as another human being.
I
My
think
question is, I wonder if she saw her own beauty. I don't, I wonder if she realized how beautiful she was inside and out. And I hope that she did.
um
Hollis, do you want to read it for me?
yeah. Uh I I found her words. Regina sent this to me and I just started to read it and then I realized who wrote it. So that
It
kind of
moved me.
it
It
moved me.
moved me.
Um
Yeah.
my dad used to write. I love writing. I never pursued it, but journalism I love journalism that speaks to you. So I would like to read to you guys what Regina sent to me that was written on April 28th of 2022 by Troy Alexandria Strope. I've hated this woman. I've not loved her at full capacity. I've fed her lies and told her she wasn't good enough and have allowed others to tell her she wasn't good enough. I've allowed her to be broken. I've allowed others to treat her disrespectfully. I've allowed her to run through brick walls and battle for others who won't even stand up for her. I couldn't stop individuals from abandoning her, yet I've seen her get up and stand to be a light to the world and love others despite all that. I have stood paralyzed by fear while she fought battles in her mind, heart, and soul. This woman has screwed up many times as a girlfriend, a daughter, or as a friend because she doesn't always say or do the right things. She has a smart mouth and she has secrets. She has scars because she has a history. Some people love this woman, some like her, and some people don't care for her at all. She has done good in her life. She has done bad in her life. She will not pretend to be someone she is not. She is who she is. Every mistake, failure, trial, disappointment, success, joy, and achievement has made her the woman she is today. You can love her or not, but if she loves you, she will do it with her whole heart, and she will make no apologies for the way she is. And Regina texted to me, "This woman is a warrior. She's not perfect, but God calls her worthy. She's unstoppable, gracefully broken, but beautifully standing. She is loved. She is life. She is transformation. She is grace. She is brave. She is Troy. She wrote this. Troy wrote this." And that is how I got introduced basically to the important side of this story. And thank you for letting me read that, Regina. Thank you very much.
And that video reminds me so much of my daughter. And I'm so sorry for your loss, you know?
Did you see the video that she posted with it that I was just showing? This is the
This
video
woman,
she posted with her. Look how beautiful she was.
this woman was an amazing writer. And you
She
will
had
see
so much talent.
and you will
Listen, I
see as
mean,
time
just
goes on the things that and she even noticed good writing. I will say that.
I
This
crawled
woman
on
was
my
so
hands.
talented.
I crawled on my hands and knees away from you last night. I'll crawl on my hands and knees toward him now. Home. Hashtag home. Hashtag the Lord. Never chase one a quote she reposted. Never chase love, affection, or attention if it isn't given freely by another person, it isn't worth having. Okay, and I'm not gonna do that because that's showing pictures that I'm not gonna dox family members at all. So I found that and was just so moved by it. And hold on a second, let me see if I can find the rest of it. There is more. Hold on.
If I had to describe her, I would describe her as beautifully broken from
Her
that.
writing seems that way, doesn't it?
It does. But she has a good she understands herself, which is amazing. Like she's willing to look at herself and see not only the good and the bad, but the need to what I need to work on, you know. Like she was true to herself, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, me too.
Regina, I know you put a really beautiful collage together of her
Uh-huh.
that I found it
Have
was
you
really
been paying
beautiful.
attention?
Huh?
Have you been paying attention?
I have been.
Didn't you know I've already played it? Can we do it again?
Please do it again. You know, I'm sitting here multitasking. I was looking for quotes. I was
I just think her smile was mesmerizing. She smiled with her eyes.
absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Stunning,
You're welcome. Yes, she was.
stunning. Miss
It's so
Brazzy,
sad.
perfectly imperfect.
Yep,
Perfect
just like, I
words.
mean, really all of us. Just like all of us, perfectly imperfect. I do have that other story now, that other story pulled up on this. Um, guess I can read it while we watch that commercial play out. The sheriff confirmed early Thursday that they have a person of interest in connection with Troy Strope's case after a search warrant was served at a house on West Buford Street. The information we received through our investigation is a possibility she was murdered in that house, St. Francis Sheriff Bobby May said. A possibility. Sheriff May said during the search warrant execution they gathered possible evidence of Strope's murder. We got what was ample. We got what was ample, he said. It doesn't take but a speck. It doesn't take much, but we think we got ample forensics. Well, that's good. He's he would not comment on what items were taken from the house, but added, "We think possibly some blood in in the residence." Strope's new decomposed body was discovered inside a plastic storage tote on February 20th by youngsters on four-wheelers riding on St. Francis County Road 731.
Now, Regina, this is where I
Yeah.
want to kind of stop because this is what I noticed, and we discussed this. So, with Harmony Montgomery, from what I understand, a tote. I mean, down south, we call a tote sort of like a really big beach bag, with two big handles you just toss over your shoulder, and it's pretty open, and sometimes there's a zipper to it. But
Right.
I
But you don't
realized,
use that kind of tote for storage much, do you?
right, and I realized even though they said tote down south, we usually call them like plastic storage bins or plastic storage tubs, like with the
Well,
lids
it's
with the clamps that you get at the hardware stores.
right, but the difference in the storage bin and the storage tote are the handles to carry it.
What's the difference then?
The handles to carry it.
What do you mean? Like,
I mean, plastic storage totes are literally, they have built-in handles to where you can move them easily on the sides built into it. It has
right, and you know
handles.
what I
It's
think
a
it is?
tote.
I think people up north or northeast may call them totes, and I think people down south may call them tubs or storage bins. It was just something I noticed.
Right.
I wonder.
No, I mean, I think a plastic, I think it's whenever you say plastic storage tote, I think like pretty much people get it. But Where
It
I
they
threw
did.
didn't
me.
say.
I
It threw
totally
me off.
understood. I totally get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it threw me off just from Harmony Montgomery too.
Well, she was found in a tote satchel.
Right, but Troy Alexandra was found like in a storage bin that like you would put decorations in from a hardware store that
Christmas
has a
or
hard plastic top that clamps down, correct?
yes,
I hate to be
one of
graphic,
those
but
little
I'm just
Snapchat
trying to
storage totes. A
okay, I'm just trying
gray
to be
I
clear.
think we
plastic
get it. Yeah.
tub.
Yeah.
Yes, we
I think it
yeah,
may be a southern, northern, eastern, western, how you describe it, but I just wanted to know for myself.
right.
No
Well, no,
disrespect.
that's
Oh,
completely understandable. I mean,
yeah. It doesn't make it any better nonetheless,
obviously
but
that obviously it's going to play of some forensic value in this case.
absolutely. And I have questions about that, and I'll wait till we do our Q&A.
Um, I do want to go ahead and finish reading this article real quick.
Absolutely. I just wanted to stop there because I was so confused with that, with different story levels.
Right. I understand that. Sheriff May says two brothers lived at the Buford Street address. One of them was arrested Thursday on a drug charge unrelated to the search warrant. The other occupant of the house was not detained. At this time, we just don't have enough evidence to make any arrest, Sheriff May said. We certainly haven't talked to any eyewitnesses. Sheriff May also says he knows how Strope was murdered but cannot jeopardize the case by releasing those details. Only the person who did it or the persons who were told were who were there would know how she was murdered. Okay, let me reread that. Only the person who did it or the persons who were there would know how she was murdered, so we don't want to make that public, he said. There is only one crime lab in Arkansas, so Sheriff May says it will take a few weeks before results come back on any items seized in today's search. And this was posted February the 28th. So it was posted 10 days ago. So hopefully we will be getting some results back that are going to help bring justice to this poor girl. Memphis, Tennessee. The woman found in the plastic container in Arkansas has been identified, according to the St. Francis County Sheriff's Office. Officers say the woman is 42-year-old Troy Alexandria Strope of Forrest City, Arkansas. And we know all that. And the teens found her. We've read that part of it. I don't think we need to go over that again. Okay.
Now, Regina, I have a question about this.
Yes.
We don't really know, based on all of these reports, there has not been an arrest specifically made for Troy Alexandria's demise, right?
Right. But
Okay.
they do have someone that
Of
was
interest.
arrested in that home
Yes.
during the time of the search on an unrelated drug charge.
Right. And the other thing, yeah, I have lots of questions. I'll bring them up. Okay. This is so interesting. Go ahead.
And also, after she was discovered in the tote, at that time there is a report that her son did, whenever the news report came out that a woman was found in the tote, um, her son called and said that his mother had been missing for a month. So, and the
This-
sheriff told me that there weren't any actual missing persons reports missing,
Right.
but I have learned that uh Troy was the kind of person, well, I read it to you in the article earlier. She was the kind of person that, maybe didn't check in every single day, but like every couple of days or so with family and stuff.
Sure, sure.
And so as soon as the family had started wondering about her, it's not like they just
Right,
nobody cared, it's not like that. It's
right.
just that they weren't
It's like
sure what was going on, I don't think.
right after like 2 weeks, it's kind of like the bells and the whistles start to go off, and then people don't want to be intrusive, but and then before you know it, it's like, wow, you never knew.
Right. Exactly.
I can see that totally happening. Wow. Okay. So that answered my question. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have questions that get me that if I don't ask, I'll forget them. Ugh, this poor woman.
So, that's the news reports that we have on it at this time. I mean, like the sheriff said, he's not gonna, divulge any information about. Obviously, if he said how she died, that would likely divulge what instrument of crime was used, to end her life. But um,
And yeah,
Can I just say something real quick?
yeah, I was fixing to give you guys the floor to start talking.
I just want to say to the family of Troy how sorry, friends and family, and how sorry I am and how my heart breaks for them. I really, truly am sorry that they're going through this loss. And I hope that she gets the justice that she deserves and she's entitled to have.
exactly.
Absolutely,
I agree with you.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. What is true? I mean,
We
people
dug deep.
can
Oh, go ahead, Regina.
people can try to say what they want about these cases and talk about people's families and this, that, or the other, but I think the one thing that everybody forgets is these are real people that loved her, that are dealing with this, loss and maybe don't have answers. And I can only go off of what I have for answers. And what I see and what I have says this was a beautiful woman that, just like all the rest of us, was dealing with struggles in her life that we all go through. That was more than likely, I mean, we know she was murdered, but more than likely brutally taken away from her family, her children, and her friends, the people that loved her.
Now,
And
Regina, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think that it's just important that we always remember who they are whenever we're covering the case. So I wanted to look into her and see a little bit about who she was, and I was moved by her writings and stuff, and I thought that those were important to share. So
Absolutely
Now,
beautiful.
Regina, did you share a lot of the quotes that she had posted? Because I don't know if you did that or not. In
um
second, because we found two Facebook
Hollis,
accounts,
right.
and
But
one was much
Hollis,
younger. Wait, let me finish,
Hollis,
Regina, please. One was much younger, um, and then there was one later where you could see certain quotes that she would post. That this was a woman struggling, and I don't know if we bypassed that, but it seems like we might have skipped that altogether.
it's
Um,
because she has pictures of her children and stuff on there, Hollis. That's what I was trying to tell you.
right. Do you want me to see, if you go to the other website, not the one where, not the first one, the latter one, her second Facebook website, only other than one picture, you can scroll through and show the quotes that she had been, because I can take a picture and copy and paste and send them to you, but they won't size up for you. Do you need the link for that?
No.
Because we
Well,
did.
what what we can
Mixed
do
with
is just
quotes.
continue the conversation about Troy. I want to bring up someone in here from Australia, I think, said that they have never heard of a female named Troy. And let me tell you what, we got other listeners in here who have siblings that are girls named Sean. I had a girlfriend named Bobby Joe. So I look and I seen her name and I thought, once I got to
Regina,
know more about her, I got I got the feeling of strength. She wore I think she wore her name well, if you know what I mean. Like she
Regina,
had strength.
I
Regina, I
agree.
don't think you should scroll through it. Let me send you the ones, babe. Don't scroll through it. I don't think you want to expose some of this stuff, baby doll. Just don't scroll through it. I'll send you the screenshots. I thought you had them. I thought we had a quotes section. I'm sorry, baby doll. Y'all talk and I'll put it together.
I agree, Sammy. I definitely agree with what you just said.
And of course my name is Sam. When my husband brought me to Arkansas, and I got introduced to his friends and neighbors. And one of them made this snarky comment about he never met a girl named Sam before. And I was like, well, you better get yourself ready. Here I come. Because, you know, I don't, I don't know. I think when we have different names like that, we can. She just spoke to me with, it was like, she really made that name speak of like strength to me. I don't know. Just as much as I didn't know her, it just it spoke to me of a young woman who's looked so dainty and beautiful to have such a strong name. I thought that was amazing.
I agree.
I agree.
I
I
have to
thought
be
that it
really
was,
honest. I have to be really honest here that Troy looks exactly like my daughter. And you know, we don't always see eye to eye on a lot of things, but she's very strong headed about her. She's always had a very strong will and done her own thing. And that has always created something of a obstacle for us sometimes. But I love her dearly. And it would just, you're not supposed to bury your children or your nieces or your godchildren. It's just not supposed to happen. And I understand a great deal of pain there, and I'm ever so sorry for your loss for anyone who even knew her.
I feel the same. It's,
I don't know if you guys ever feel this way, but sometimes when this happens, I wish that you could just reach out and hug that person, you know? And I don't know this woman, so I can't imagine how her family and friends feel and not getting that last hug, you know? But she's the kind of person that you just want to reach out and hug and tell her, you know, you're so beautiful and you're so real. And I love real. I think that it speaks volumes when you can be true to who you are and hold your head high. And I really do admire her strength myself also.
Linda
yep.
Robertson says that she is named for her father.
Well, and that's beautiful.
I just remembered I had comments, you guys.
I can't see the comments, so unfortunately, I would talk to people. So let me just say hi to everyone in chat. This is me, Crystal. What is true? I'm glad you're all here, and I'm
Oh
glad.
my goodness.
Just so you know, Regina, I'm sending you some of her quotes in your DMs
Um,
because from her
Hollis,
Facebook post.
Hollis, Hollis. Um, we have her family in chat. Um, I think that we should extend an invitation for them to come up and tell her story in a way that we can't. I would like to do that. So, this is for Mary and Linda. If y'all would like to, you don't have to show your face. We're not going to request you to show your face. But if you would like to come up into the room and just talk on voice, um, we would love to know more about her, about who she was, and share a little bit of the joy that she was with the rest of us. We would really appreciate that because from what I've seen, she is absolutely a beautiful person, and I would greatly appreciate that. But don't feel obligated to by any means either, because I understand that y'all are going through the loss still. So I just thought I would extend that invitation.
I would like to know some of the things that maybe she found joy in, that made her smile, that she felt relaxed and stress free. I'd like to hear some of those stories, just some funny stories about her.
I understand. I completely understand. I completely understand. My deepest condolences. And all of us here are praying, for all of you during this time. And we are so sorry for your loss.
I don't feel like they should feel an obligation to have to come up here right
At
now, but
all.
I do want to offer and extend out to them the platform if and when the time
Yes.
comes that they feel ready enough and that they have some idea of what they want to say in advance. Give them time. I mean, it's still all raw and fresh and new. And it's so horrible. The loss is so shocking. You know, I lost my mother in law last year, and it's been almost a year. Not quite, but almost. And it's still kind of fresh for me, you know. And she lived a nice long full life, but I just think maybe let them know, hey, if y'all get to a place where you would like to be able to share with the world, um, touching stories, anything that helps you through this, please reach out to Regina because we can make it happen for you.
Yes. If and
You know, a while back, now I have family that deal with mental health issues, and we talk all of the time. And I remember being asked by my mom one time to, can we all just pray for each other? Because there was so much going on in the world that everything just was going awry on us all. And so I did. I said to her, I will. And I put out this prayer, and it's more, I don't know what you want to call it, but I would like to read it if you guys feel like hearing it. It may take about 3 minutes to read it. But this is a
Absolutely.
prayer. This is a prayer for everyone. I pray today that no matter how dark it gets, that you breathe through this moment and you read this to yourself or aloud to someone else who needs to feel loved and need wounds healed. You matter. You're meant to be here. When you feel like you can't go on, cry. Cry your eyes out. then rest. It's okay to take the day and spend it in bed if you wish. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Tomorrow will come. Stop pushing people away. Allow someone the chance to help you pass the time. Do not be afraid to ask someone if you can get a hug. Even if you choose to be alone, remember, you're not alone. Sometimes when I find myself in a dark place, alone, un- unloved, I may have a few cries, like I'm 5 again. Then I lay down and maybe cry some more. Then I might reflect on choices I made. And if I can see I made a mistake, I accept that. I made a bad choice and make a better choice next time. I've thought to myself at times, maybe I just didn't have the courage I needed to make a better choice. Then I realized it wasn't a lack of courage, but rather I had allowed fear to take over. Fear of everything, fear of anything, fear of accepting love, fear of stepping out of my comfort zone, fear of failure. I sat with this realization and the idea things may go wrong if I let go of fear. Then I considered how I would feel if I was abandoned by love or didn't succeed at a new profession. Just looking at what going outside of my comfort zone might look like. I accepted the worst might happen, but I also realized even if it went sideways, that I would at least know what it felt like to love someone or to do a job I always wanted to do or learn a valuable lesson. It scared the hell out of me, but I did it. When I decided to get out of bed, I took off that coat called fear and threw it away. I took a deep breath and in said from now on, an opportunity comes along for me to have say, I'm going to grab the bull by the horns and hang on for all that it's worth to live my life to the fullest. By the way, it's okay to not be okay today. This is the day I stay in bed and embrace my sorrows and cry, whatever I need. The key is get it out, let it out, cry. It's okay to cry your eyes out if you need to. Just let it all out. Letting it all out lightens the load so you can really, truly, fully breathe again, to see and feel the sunlight again. Be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to be free to feel what you're feeling right now. You're not alone. I love you and there is more. Just breathe. We can do this. I love you. That's it. The end.
That's
But I wanted
beautiful.
to share it with people because I know so many people around me are hurting from their losses, and it breaks my heart.
There are so many of us out in this world that have a light to shine and a load to bear. And sometimes it becomes a struggle between the two.
Regina, I'm back now. I did all the quotes real quick from her Facebook account and tossed them to you into your DM that were supposed to be presented for tonight to kind of
Thank you.
explain who this woman was.
And
I'm
I
sorry,
thought
guys.
we were going to be able
I
to
had to go
do
to
it.
put that together. Huh?
Yeah. And I thought we
No,
were going to be able to do it through. Why is.
no, you can't scroll through her Facebook account like that.
No, I
I
can't.
thought we knew we were just doing the photos. So I don't know if they're even be resized for now at all at this point, but I tried. I tried my best. I shot them off
I'm
to
just
you.
going to pull them up. Thank you. I'm just going to pull them up straight from my Discord. Oh, that's perfect, Hollis.
You're welcome.
That's perfect. Thank you, sis. Because, like, just whoopsie. Living my best life, March 17th, 2023. Oh, kiss her goodbye like you might never see her again, and kiss her her hello like you really believe you wouldn't. You really believed you wouldn't. Yeah, these are the ones me and you talked about, Hollis. I was so afraid of losing you until I realized you never really belonged to me in the first place. Because even though my heart was with you, yours was with everything and everyone else. So instead of being afraid to lose you, I sat back and I watched you lose me.
These were the ones that were so important because you can see here a woman who has inner struggles.
Yes.
When you see this, you
And when
see what was going on with her.
I was toxic to some, I was a blessing to others. Some I healed, others I hurt. I'm willing to admit that I wasn't always right. Wow, that takes a big person to write something like that. Aw, to my sister. I hope you know how special you are to me. If I don't say it enough, just want you to know that I love you to the moon and back. Oh, you deserve someone who's going to treat you like you matter every day, not just when it's convenient for them. Amen. We all do. Before I give up on anyone, I try and I try and I try and I try until I no longer can try anymore. I can say with great sorry. I can say with great certainty and absolute honesty that I did not know what love was until I knew what love was not. And that's a quote from P.T. Berkey. Oh, she was beautiful.
I think that this is a good reminder to all of us to remember when we come in contact with another person, regardless if you know them or not, to remember that they are human. They do have feelings, they do matter, and that they have people that love and respect them. So, as society, we should stop tearing each other up and try to build each other up uh, because we're lacking. We're lacking. Humanity is lacking in making people feel like they matter. And I agree with Sammy. Everyone matters. And sometimes you have to love the ones that some just a little bit more. And I also think that you have to remind people of their own beauty because sometimes they can't see.
I would just like to take a moment, real quick, also, after you're finished, real quick, Crystal, to say a prayer for her family and friends and
No,
her
go ahead.
children.
Go ahead, Regina. Thank you.
I would just like to come in your presence now, dear Lord, and ask that you put your hand on Troy's family at this time, dear Lord. They need you. They need you to get them through the darkness that has fallen upon them, Lord, with this loss. And we just ask that you bless them with understanding and love and strength through this difficult time. In Jesus' holy name, we pray. Amen. I mean, I'm a 42-year-old mother of two. I don't even want to think about that kind of pain that I know my kids would feel. Can you imagine? Hollis, you've got kids. Can you imagine? I can't.
No, I can't. I really can't. But
Sammy?
it happens. It happens to the best of us. We don't really pick it, it picks us.
Can you ask that again? I'm so sorry. I was signing the book.
Sammy, as a mother, I mean, could you even imagine what your kids would go through?
No, and that's what I think about as far as my situation with my daughter. Um, she's going to be 30 this year, and it's just heartbreaking because I know the struggles we all go through in life, period. And we have to allow these women to be their own person, and we can't control what they say or do in the position they end up in and where it ends up getting them. That's devastating when it leads to death in the end. I'm mortified in for the families and for the friends, and I just feel like, and especially seeing a live video of her, just that looks so like my daughter, and I just couldn't imagine. I can't.
What is true? As a mother, how do you feel?
I'm heartbroken for her loved ones, her friends, her family. I can't even begin to imagine what they're going through and the pain and the loss and the suffering, and I am so sorry, and I hope that they truly get the justice that she deserves and is entitled to. I believe that she was a beautiful person, and I'm just, it's heartbreaking, so heartbreaking and unnecessary. People don't value others' lives as we should. And I say that as a whole, you know, it takes a moment of time to share a smile, save a life. It takes a moment to change somebody's life with just being kind, asking them, "How are you?" But I mean, and with that, you need to be sincere, just asking somebody, just to ask them. It's the sincerity that matters. It's when you make a person feel like they're loved. And you can love people without knowing them. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yes, and we're supposed to embrace each other, and we're supposed to help seek justice for each other and care for each other and show compassion to each other. That is our duties to each other, not only as women, but as humans. As
You know,
humans.
Regina, can I tell you to ask you to just go off script a little bit?
Yeah,
Can you play her photo collage one more time?
I sure can.
I really would like now for people to see how this woman felt inside, but look at the beauty of her on the outside. You would never think this in a million years if you passed her on the street. That just gets me every time.
Yeah. Why would someone, why would they do this to someone else, especially someone? I mean, you can tell she's a little woman. She's just a little bitty thing. How can someone hurt another person and put them in a Walmart storage container, a storage tote, a gray storage tote, like the
Right.
kind you get from Walmart, Hollis,
I know.
and put her in it and just leave her on the side of the road somewhere?
Well, I think a lot of the panel members, we've all talked about how people are just way too dismissive of the value of life these days. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Yes, and it begins with the people that are alive that you're walking by and ignoring. So, my suggestion is, as far as members in society, we need to start checking in with each other. Even if you think that person might be a lowlife in your mind, you need to rethink that because these are human beings. It doesn't matter if it's a Troy who is, she seemed like she was very vibrant and very, very strong willed. And I feel like she was somebody that had a whole lot to offer the world. Now, when I go into my job and I see people laying around on the street or in the place of business, I try to connect with them because you don't know anything till you start to poke around a little bit. And I want to know their names. I want to know if they know their name. I want to know what state of mind they're in at the moment because it matters. These are still people in my community and they matter to me. I may not always be able to help them. They may not be in a position to be able to receive help because sometimes they're so messed up in their head they don't even know their name at that moment. But if you can get familiar with these folks and start to realize where maybe you might be able to give them a little bit of a help, a little bit of a shove in the right direction, could make the difference in somebody's world. And I feel like, honestly, that day when I called the cops on that one woman, they ended up coming in with their outreach team to talk to her and work with her and get her help. So I'm just saying, start paying attention to the people around you. Don't allow them to become that person we find in a bin or missing and you don't know what happened to them for decades. I mean, come on. You're an able bodied person. All you have to do is say hi.
Yeah, but sometimes all it takes also, Sammy, is just giving them a platform. Just giving them a platform because I live in an area with small town people and there have been, murders and homicides happen that were never solved because cops got wrapped up in something else and nobody was there to be a voice for them.
Oh, yeah.
I agree, though, Sammy. People need to start acknowledging others, get their heads out of their phones and pay attention and have human connections because that's something of the past and we need to really bring it back, in my opinion.
Yep.
Oh, no,
I
I completely agree with
Well,
all of
I'll tell
that.
you what. I'll tell you what. Working on this video, 3 days ago, I made a phone call to a very specific blood relative of mine who does this kind of stuff as well. So I made a connection, and they responded. And even though it was not very, it was one of a struggle because they do struggle. It was still a response. And all that really mattered was this video made me think, hey, I need to reach out. I need to send a text. And you know what? You'd be shocked. Within 30 minutes, I got a text back. And like I said, even though it wasn't a positive text because it's somebody who is struggling with their own inner demons, the fact is I still reached out and I'm very glad I did. And it was because working on this video that I did it. Because normally, guys, I have to say, I've dealt with this one individual in my family for, my whole life. And when they are in a certain way, there came a point where I just had to get off that roller coaster because I just couldn't do it anymore. Um, and I did that, but I still kept checking in on them and I couldn't help it. But it just brought it back to point. I went back and checked in on that person again, and I'm really glad I did because, you know,
I'm really
Everyone goes
glad
through
you
their
did
own
too.
struggles for whatever reason.
Right.
Just don't let them be alone through them.
Just sometimes the fact that you say hi to someone or you check in on them, it helps them to realize they're human and that they matter,
And they're
even if
not
it's just for 1 minute.
Exactly. Exactly.
and they're not invisible, because I think that sometimes people feel so invisible and they don't feel like they matter, and just to realize somebody sees you, somebody really sees you. And again, I agree, it could be with a smile, it could be with eye contact, just that human connection, like where you feel something, just and it makes you feel good. It's not just, when you do that for others, it makes you feel good and it makes you a better person.
Y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but I was running an errand this morning, and this poor little woman in this boutique, she had no idea I had entered the store. She thought she was alone, and she was in there just talking to herself, cussing right and left because she was, I mean, she was just talking out loud. Turns out 3 employees weren't going to show up that night, right? And I felt so bad for her. I was like, literally like, well, I'll just help you out. You don't even have to pay me. I'll just show up tonight and hang out. And then I was like, wait, I can't. I've got a life. I can't just come and help you out. And we had a long talk. And she's the manager, and she had a lot of business work that needed to be done. She couldn't really be up front, but she had 3 employees that canceled on her. And she was the only one that was going to be there all day. But I was like, oh my gosh, this would be just so much fun. Just let me work for the day. I'll just jump in like a crazy person and help you out.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool.
But I do that because I'm crazy. Like that's how I think. And then I have to go, oh, wait a minute, I can't. I have children I have to take care of. I have a live tonight. But I did tell her, I did walk out and I said, well, the one
Hollis.
good thing is with the daylight savings time changing, I bet 9 o'clock's going to roll by a lot faster than you expect. And she laughed. And that made my day.
Regina, could you read the comment that's on the screen right now from
That's
Mary?
exactly that's what I was fixing to get to. Mary Lindsay, um, I'm so sorry for your loss. She said, rest easy, B, till we meet again on the other side. I love you, and I will keep your memory alive. I'm checking on the kids, all 6 of them. Love and miss you so much. So do I love so do I give my daddy, a hug for me.
Oh, and you know what, Lindsay and Mary Lindsay and Linda Robertson, I'd love for y'all to reach out to us. We'd love to have y'all on our next show on panel. We'd love
Yep.
to hear you guys talk about her.
Hollis, um, um,
If
they're gonna,
comfortable enough. If not, we
they
understand.
yeah, they've already,
Okay.
they want to talk to me in private.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we did offer that too, for them to be a platform for 'em to be a voice
Right.
for her.
Right.
Well, we wanted to actually show today a little more of who Troy is and what Troy was about and more about Troy other than the news report. So, because we want everyone in society to realize, these are people that are surrounding us, that live around us. And sometimes I think they go unnoticed too much until something horrific happens. And I hate it when this happens.
Well, I found the news report to just be very shallow and kind of just trying to be like
Yeah.
clickbaity and not really like
Right.
really putting the
Well, they're
personal
just,
touch to it. It
it's just,
bothered me. It
it's just
really
news to
bothered me.
them. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
news, but what people, like I said earlier, is she was a person. She was a mother. I mean, she was 42. I'm 42. I'm 42.
Lucky you.
I mean, but that just, it hit me.
Yeah. And beautiful children,
And we don't know what kind of
beautiful
circumstance
woman.
led her to be there in that house and to die,
Right.
you know?
We don't know what she was struggling with. We don't know what happened to her. We
That's the
don't.
reason I'm saying. But in her posts and stuff, I see a woman going through the same struggles I've gone through and learning to love herself through it, you know? And she was beautiful. And it's awful what's happened to her. And I just want to bring attention to her story and who she was so that, you know, they do stay on it. They do
Right,
keep investigating
right.
until they do find out
Who
what
did
happened to
this?
her and her family gets justice.
Exactly. That's what
And
Well,
bothers
we're
me.
going to follow this one through.
a-
Oh,
All the way
bet.
through.
and
You bet
maybe
we will.
and maybe Regina, when they reach out to you, if there's anything that we can do to help them, they can tell you, and maybe we can try to come together and address some of the questions that they have, or you know keep her story out there for them so it does get coverage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everybody, like, I don't like to push this channel because it's new, and I know that we're good enough that we can present all kinds of amazing content. But for this one, for Troy Alexandria Strope, please share. I think her story needs to be told.
It does.
I know it is.
And I think this needs to be solved. And I think justice for Troy is what this is really about more than anything else.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's about her.
That's the first and foremost important thing, justice for Troy.
Yeah. I know if someone did something horrible like this to my mother, I wouldn't be able to sleep until I found out who did what happened to my loved one. I mean, it wouldn't even have to be my mother. It would have to be anyone that I loved. I would want to know, and I would find it hard to rest until I found justice. So, but it's it's terrible. I just there are no words to describe the loss, and
Well,
especially such a sudden loss and such a life stolen. I mean, it's not just a loss; it's she was stolen. Her
yeah.
life was stolen. You know.
Now I have a question. She was married, right? And she did have some children. Was there a
Yes.
divorce?
I did not find anything about a
Okay.
divorce decree, but in her obituary, I did find that she was survived by her husband.
Okay. Bless her heart.
Yes. So everybody, if you would share this story, um, it's not to get me clicks. It's to get
No.
her story out there
Yeah. And I'd love to tell
because
her
as
story.
long as her story is out there, people will keep talking and they
Yes.
will keep talking and
Yes.
it will help to get her justice as long as her voice is still out there.
Exactly. And please, if there's anything that we can do to help the family members, just let us know. Just reach out. You know how to get in touch with Regina. We will help in any way that we can on a private basis. Absolutely 100%.
And with that said, what is true, you've been really quiet. Is there anything you'd like to say or anything?
um like I said before, my heart goes out to the family, um and I'm truly sorry for the loss, and I will pray for justice for her, and I will continue to try to do everything that we're possible we can do to help. And as a society, I encourage to the acknowledgement of others, to be kind, to share a smile, save a life, and just just try to be a good person. That's all we can all do. And remember, at any point, any time, any of us could walk in those shoes. So,
Yes. Hollis, was there anything you'd like to add to that?
Um, I just want to give the family my deepest condolences and her children, and to know that, we do see all sides to every story. And this was a beautiful woman who was lost.
Sammy, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
I just want to say that I hate that I didn't meet her before this. I wish I would have met her in real life before this, and really found her intriguing as a person. And I really loved her writing. So no matter what has happened to her, remember this: she has left a mark on this world that's never going away. Just you remember that.
All right. And with that said, Sammy, let's do Sammy's resources one more time. Um, Everyone, it's really important out there to reach out. Um, Anytime you see someone that is being abused or harmed, or if you see someone that is struggling with addiction, or if you see someone who is in a dangerous situation, and maybe you suspect that that person is being harmed or abused or trafficked, always say something. Always, because even reporting the smallest little thing can help. And I think that if anybody knows anything that can help the police with Troy Alexandria's case, if you'll go back to the very beginning of this video, the phone number is there to directly call and file that report. And it may be something so simple as you heard something that night, because nobody heard or seen anything. I find that hard to believe. I think someone out there knows something. And I'm just saying, if you saw it, you need to report it, because if you watch someone do something like that to someone else, they'll do it to you too, first of all. And second of all, if you don't report it, they can hurt another person. And that's even worse,
And
to
Regina, you
let
know
them
what?
continue to hurt others.
Normally, I like to do the send off of That's a Wrap, but I just don't feel right about this one. I just want to say prayers to her family, extended family, and children. And that's my wrap.
Right. And I think I'm just going to leave it on the note of I'm going to show her little video I made again. And then I'm going to put up the helplines. So, with that said, you guys, lock your windows, lock your doors. Remember to be kind to one another. You never know when just the smallest thing, like a small smile, the smallest act of kindness, could change someone's life. It might even just save it. And if you see something, say something. With that said, good night, everyone. Blessings.